Teacher IJ. Now that we understand how ordered pairs look, let's actually put them on the map. To do this, we are going to use our favorite interactive tool, the Tesseract. And if you look at the screen, plotting a point is as simple as a three-step dance. Step 1, we always start right at the center, the origin, which is 0, 0. Step 2, we have to look at the first number, the x-coordinate, to move horizontally left or right along the x-axis. And then lastly, or the step 3, we have to look at the second number, the y-coordinate. We have to move them vertically up or down. Now, as you can see from our screen class, no, there is an Erasmus activity or a Erasmus picture. So we plotted, teacher already plotted it. Our first point, the 4 and -3. So teachers start at 0, 0 because that's what the step 1 should do, right? We have to look at our origin. Then after that, teacher move 4 units to the right. And then move 3 units down. And then that's it. No? Our points are already in quadrant 4. And now, we already plotted all our points that we needed, and that's how basic plotting is, especially in our favorite interactive tool, which is the Decimus. So if you don't have any questions, class, then let's proceed to our next topic, the distance formula. So great job tracking those points in the chat. But what if we want to connect 2 points with a straight line, class, no? And figure out exactly how long that line is. That bring us to the distance formula. Visually, if we draw a line between 2 random coordinates, let's call them the x sub 1 and the y sub 1, and x sub 2 and y sub 2. With that, we can form a right triangle on the grid. And because of that, this formula is deeply connected to something you already know. And what formula is that? Or what connection is that? The Pythagorean theorem. To find the distance or the letter d, we use the formula. As you can see from the screen, d is equal to the square root of parentheses x sub 2 minus x sub 1 and then squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 and then squared. That's the formula, class, no? You can take a pic of it or a screenshot, or you can take notes on it so that you can still remember what's the formula. And here's a quick math tip, class, no? Keep in mind. To avoid any mistakes with negative signs, always square the differences before you add them together. And let's see how this works with some real numbers. Okay, let's proceed to our example. Sorry. Let's look at a concrete example, class. Our problem asks us how to find the distance between point A 2, 1 and point B 6, 4. What should we do? Of course, first we have to identify our coordinates. Our x sub 1 is 2, y sub 1 is 1, and our x sub 2 is 6, and our y sub 2 is 4. And the only thing that you need to do, class, is we just need to plug those values right into our formula. And remember, our formula is d is equal to square root of parentheses and then x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 and squared. And then, okay, we have to plug in the 6 minus 2, the 4 minus 1, and squared. And after that, we just need to simplify in first parentheses. No? 6 minus 2 give us 4, and 4 minus 1 give us 3. So now we have d is equal to square root of 4 squared plus 3 squared. Next, we evaluate the square, class, no? 4 squared is 16 and 3 squared is 9. And with that, we have to add them up, which is 16 plus 9 give us 26. 25 rather. Sorry for the correction or the incorrect answer. And then finally, what is the square root of 25? It is 5, exactly. So the distance between points A and B is 5 units. You see, step by step, it's actually really basic class. We just need to follow all the formula or memorize and then understand all the steps. Now, if you don't have any questions from distance formula, let's proceed to the midpoint formula. So now that we know how to find the total distance of a segment, that what if we want to locate the exact center of it? Imagine a line segment with a point sitting perfectly squarely in the middle. We label this point as M for midpoint. Finding the midpoint is essentially finding the average of the coordinates. You average the x values together and you average the y values together. So mathematically, the formula is written as a new coordinate pair. M is equals to x sub 1 plus x sub 2, y sub 1 plus y sub 2. And you have to divide it by 2. And then you simply add the 2x coordinates and divide by 2, then add the 2y coordinates and divide by 2, and we have to look at our next example, no, to see this in action using the formula. Okay, let's proceed, class. So let's write this one together. We need to find the midpoint of point C is 2,8 and point D is 6,4. Let's calculate our x coordinate first. We take our x values, 2 and 6, and add them together and divide by 2. After dividing it, we have exactly -4. No, sorry for that, class. It's actually +4. And then next is the y, no? Same thing that we did with x value earlier, no? So we got 6. When we put our new x and y values back into an ordered pair, we get our final destination, class. Our midpoint M is 4 and 6. So if you plot this on the graph, you will see it perfectly between C and D. And that's how the midpoint works. So if you have any question, just put it in a chat box, class, so that teacher can see it later after, and of course identify and help you understand some of the misconception or misunderstanding. Now let's proceed to our group activity, the City Map Challenge. Now it's time to put your collaborative hats on for our City Map Challenge. You are going to step into the shoes of urban planners. With this group activity, you will be using Canva to design a mini city directly on a coordinate grid system. And here are your specific goals. First, you must plot and label 5 important establishments like a hospital, a school, or a mall or whatsoever. Second, you need to calculate and show the exact distance between your school and your mall using the distance formula that we just practiced and discussed earlier. Third, you must place a community center exactly at the midpoint of 2 residential houses on your map. And once your design is complete, your group will be presenting your final output through a screen sharing right here in Google Meet. Please don't forget to submit your group Canva collaboration link via Google Classroom as well. And now, I'm splitting you into your online breakout groups. So now you have 15 minutes to reserve for that to complete the challenge and collaborate well. Be creative and make sure your map is tight. Let's get to planning grade 8. I can't wait to see your maps. Have fun, and your time starts now. So for our individual assessment, just open your Google form link and then try to plot a 4 and then 3 and identify the point of the screen. And next is to solve the distance and solve the midpoint. Kindly just open or scan the QR code that is given, which is on the screen. I think that would be all, class, and thank you for listening about solving the distance, the midpoint formula, and how to plot. Thank you so much. This is teacher Nicolette Ibanez.